Hello and welcome to Tag Tuesday, in which I present the Shot Down in Flames book tag. Thank you to Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics for creating this brilliant book tag. I'll leave a link to his original tag in the show notes below. And thank you to Arlene Lewis, who encouraged me to do the tag. I've chosen to ask myself the question, what books would I save if my whole library was to go up in flames? This is not as easy to answer as it may appear. I've already produced my Desert Island books video, but this tag calls for a much more stringent criteria to be applied. For the Desert Island list, I chose 10 novels to help to while away the time in an enjoyable way. But I have also asked myself the question, what books do I really value and can't live without? Although I avoided it when I did my 10 books for a desert island, I cannot avoid it now. So my number one pick is going to have to be, without a shadow of a doubt, my large print, wide margin copy of the King James Version of the Bible, which I have marked, underlined and annotated throughout. The spiritual, mental, emotional and psychological strength that God's Word imparts to me is a treasure beyond price, and I value it above all others, and so it must be saved from the flames. The second book I would save from the flames is From a College Window by Arthur C. Benson. These 18 essays on a variety of topics, told in Benson's typical avuncular style, are a source of intellectual stimulation, and his companionable opinions resonate with me to the extent that I have underlined passages in every one of his 18 essays. The third book I would like to save from the flames is Solitude, called The School of Genius in the USA by Anthony Storr. This is another book that I have underlined throughout, and it is a rich source of intellectual stimulation by a noted psychiatrist. In this brilliant and acclaimed work, the eminent psychiatrist Dr. Anthony Storr challenges the widely held view that success in personal relationships is the only key to happiness. He argues in 12 scintillating chapters for other great satisfactions of life, such as work and creativity, in a series of skillful biographical sketches. He demonstrates how many of the creative geniuses of our civilization have been solitary by temperament or circumstances, and how the capacity to be alone is, even for those who are not creative, a sign of maturity. For those of us who are of a solitary disposition, it is a comforting and reassuring work. The fourth book I would like to save from the flames is a collection, the collected verse of Robert Service, which incorporates songs of a sourdough, ballads of a Chichaco, rhymes of a rolling stone, the rhymes of a Red Cross man, and ballads of a Bohemia. These robust verses of Robert William Service, with their narrative drive, wit and dynamic content, are full of the pith and sinew of life, death and adventure. The fifth book is also a collection, the complete short stories of W. Somerset Maugham. W. Somerset Maugham in the short story reached the pinnacle of his art. For me, there is no greater master, greater than Maupassant, or Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, or any modern practitioner of the art of the short story that I have read. Maugham stands supreme. These expertly told tales with their addictive plot twists and vividly drawn characters are both galvanizing as literature and wonderfully entertaining. Whether writing about a secret agent in World War I or in stories set in far-flung places as the South Pacific Islands and colonial outposts in Southeast Asia, Maugham brings his characters vividly to life, and their humanity is more convincing for the author's merciless exposure of their flaws and failures. Whether the chasms of misunderstanding he plumbs are those between colonizers and natives, between a missionary and a prostitute, or between a poetry-writing woman and her uncomprehending husband, Maugham brilliantly displays his irony, his wit, and his genius in the art of storytelling. Doing this tag has been a fascinating and enlightening exercise, as it has helped to focus my mind on the books that I really value, rather than on the books that I chose for my desert island books that would merely help me to pass the time. And now here's a quick recap, and I'll be back soon with another BookTube video.